First of all, look straight at this truth. The people who hurt you and then turn around and play the victim are not confused or lost at all. They are deliberately protecting their own image. Most people simply cannot handle the idea that they are the villain in someone else's story. That thought shatters their ego so hard they refuse to accept it. So what do? They rewrite the whole script. In their version, they didn't lie. They were just misunderstood. They didn't disrespect you. You were too sensitive. They didn't betray you. They were forced into it. See how convenient that is? This is called cognitive dissonance. When their actions no longer match the nice picture of themselves they built in their head, their brain panics. Instead of admitting, "I messed up," it whispers, "No, I'm still a good person." So they twist reality instead. That is their psychological self-defense. But the crueler part is this. Some people don't just twist reality inside their own mind. They also pull in an audience. Suddenly you start getting strange looks and weird energy from mutual friends. Suddenly you're the cold one. Suddenly you've changed. No. You simply stopped accepting nonsense, and that is exactly what makes you a threat to them. Second, they flip the script because taking responsibility feels like death to them. Admitting fault requires real emotional maturity, and that kind of maturity is extremely rare. Saying, "I hurt you," feels to them like admitting weakness, like losing. So they quickly turn it into, "You're attacking me." Notice how fast the conversation gets pulled off track. You talk about the pain their actions caused, and they immediately reply, "So now I'm a terrible person?" Suddenly, you are the one defending yourself just for having feelings. This is psychological judo. They skillfully shift the focus from what they did to how you reacted. If you're not careful, you'll spend hours explaining yourself while they never truly apologize. Let me say something uncomfortable straight out. When someone constantly makes you feel guilty just for expressing your pain, they are not fragile. They are manipulative. Truly fragile people shut down. Manipulative people use emotions as weapons. These two things are completely different, and you need to see the difference clearly. Third, some people genuinely believe they are the victim, and this is scary because they are not acting. They truly believe it. There are people who grew up never being held accountable for anything. Everything was always someone else's fault. So when conflict happens, their brain automatically searches for someone to blame, and it never lands on themselves. You could show them messages, recordings, even a full presentation with background music, and they will still insist that's not what happened. Why? Because admitting fault would collapse their entire identity. If their whole personality is built on the foundation of, "I'm the good one," they simply cannot process the idea that they hurt someone. So they rewrite history, and if you try to correct them, you become the aggressor in their eyes. That's why arguing with someone who is fully committed to their victim story feels like talking to Wi-Fi. You're speaking, but nothing is connecting. Fourth, playing the victim brings sympathy, and sympathy is a very powerful currency in social life. Whoever cries first, speaks first, or frames the story first gets to control how other people see the situation. Most people don't investigate, they react emotionally. So if the person who hurt you goes around saying they tried their best, and you just turned against them, guess what? People feel sorry for them. Meanwhile, you're sitting quietly trying to process your pain alone. That silence works against you. In social dynamics, whoever tells the story first often wins. This doesn't mean you should run around broadcasting your side to everyone, but it does mean you should stop being shocked when someone prioritizes protecting their image over protecting your truth. Some people care more about looking innocent than actually being innocent. Let that sink in deeply. Fifth, playing the victim is a control tactic. Yes, control. When they position themselves as the victim, the power shifts immediately. Now you feel like you have to comfort them. Now you feel like you went too far. Now you start softening your boundaries, and that is exactly what they wanted. They hurt you, you confront them, they cry, you apologize. Try to find the logic in that. But this dynamic is very common, especially in relationships where one person always avoids responsibility and the other overthinks everything. If you are an empathetic person, this tactic works even better on you because you don't want to be mean, you don't want to be harsh, you don't want to hurt their feelings. Meanwhile, they just emotionally crushed yours. Do you see the imbalance? Playing the victim is often not weakness. It's strategy. Sixth, some people cannot tolerate shame. Shame is a heavy emotion. Healthy people feel it, process it, and grow from it. Unhealthy people push it away. When confronted with their wrongdoing, they feel intense discomfort. Instead of sitting with it, they project it. Projection is a psychological game. They can't hold the shame, so they throw it at you. And if you catch it, internalize it, and start questioning yourself, they feel relieved, because now they don't have to deal with it. That's why after conflicts with these kinds of people, you feel drained and confused. You're carrying emotions that were never yours to begin with. Now comes the part that will set you free. Stop trying to win against someone who is fully committed to misunderstanding you. You cannot logic someone out of a story they built to protect their ego. You cannot out-explain someone who benefits from being the victim. You cannot heal someone who refuses accountability. The more you argue, the more you confirm their story that you are attacking them. Silence is sometimes not weakness, it is strategy. Distance is not immaturity, it is protection. Boundaries are not cruelty, they are clarity. When you stop reacting, they lose their leverage, because victim players feed on reaction. They need you emotional, they need you defending yourself, they need you chasing resolution. Let's be practical. When someone plays the victim after hurting you, stay calm and stick to the facts. Don't attack their character, speak only about behavior. When you did this, it affected me this way. Keep it clean. No drama, no name-calling, just clarity. Don't over-explain. If you find yourself writing long essays to prove you're not a bad person, you're already slipping into their frame. State your truth once, or twice if necessary. After that, stop. Watch patterns, not apologies. Some people say sorry and then immediately return to the victim narrative. Consistency is what reveals sincerity. Protect your peace. Mute, create distance, or block if needed. Not as revenge, but as emotional hygiene. You don't keep touching a hot stove just to prove it's hot. Accept that not everyone will see your side, and that's okay. Your peace is more valuable than public validation. It hurts more when the person who hurt you acts like the victim, because it invalidates your pain. It feels like emotional theft. Not only were you wronged, but now your experience is being erased. That's why it cuts so deep. You're not crazy for feeling furious about that, but don't let that fury turn you into exactly what they accuse you of being. Stay grounded, because the strongest response to manipulation is emotional control. Not silence from fear, but silence from strength. Not distance from pettiness, but distance from clarity. You don't need everyone to understand you. You need to understand yourself. And once you stop trying to convince someone who has already decided you are the villain, your energy comes back. You sleep better. You think clearer. You move smarter. And here's the savage twist. When you truly detach, when you genuinely no longer need them to admit they were wrong, that is when they feel it. Because control only works while you are still emotionally hooked. Unhook yourself. Because some people will make you bleed and then pretend to be wounded when they see you bleeding. Understand that psychology. Refuse the role they assigned you, and walk away with your dignity intact. Because the calm person who sees through the performance is always 10 steps ahead.